So you just bought a CRV hybrid and you're not getting good fuel economy. Well, with any hybrid anyways. So that is the number one complaint that we get during the wintertime, especially when this car came out in 2023 for the hybrids. Every wintertime, we always get customers complaining about their CRV hybrids not getting good fuel economy. And that is the number one complaint. Why your fuel economy on your CRV hybrid isn't that great? And the simple answer to that is anytime the engine is running, you're not saving gas. And to tell that your engine's not running and it's in electric, there is an EV light. Also, especially during the winter time when people like to use their heater and they run it on the highest setting, because I do see them when they complain about their fuel economy not doing so great, their heater is always on max. And what that causes it to do is that it runs the engine. And it constantly runs the engine, especially on high. So what you want to do is you want to keep it at, I don't know, I like to keep it at around 21 degrees Celsius. And, once it gets to that operating temperature, which, instead of going max all the time, that constantly runs the engine, once it reaches that temperature in the cabin, it just, you'll get to use EV mode quite a lot more. So that's the other thing. The other thing is, you also have to ask the customer, are you remote starting your car during the wintertime to get heat in the car? Because since you're not going anywhere, you're not saving any fuel, you're burning fuel to heat up your cabin, sitting on the driveway doing nothing. So you're not saving gas there. So that's the other thing. And these are the things that the advisor should be telling the customer, which they should be doing their job, which they aren't. Certain somebody up there, always the same complaint, but they don't tell the customer these things. So it gets quite annoying when it's always the same complaint, but the advisors don't do anything about it. That's the other thing. But yeah, so simple answer to why you're getting bad fuel economy. Anytime the engine is running, you're not saving fuel. You can easily go into EV mode while you're driving just by lifting off the throttle. It'll go to EV mode, dip into the throttle slightly, gets it into EV, and you can be coasting, accelerating, not a whole lot, but you can still accelerate. These things have pretty big electric motors to get you going in EV. And also doing short trips. Short trips will also affect your fuel economy, because every time you start up the car in the morning, engine's cold, it wants to get that engine up to temperature before it is able to give you EV mode. And it also charges the hybrid battery too. So short trips, back and forth, 5 kilometers, you're not saving fuel there. For example, my wife, we have a RAV4 hybrid, same thing. She does 5 kilometer trips, and our fuel economy is not that great on our RAV4. But it doesn't matter to her because I'm the one paying for fuel. So I fill up both our cars, so I'm the one paying for gas. So it doesn't really matter to her. So she just drives the car. But I hope this helps on explaining why you're not getting good fuel economy on your CRV hybrid, because it's every winter time, this winter, last winter, once a week we get like 2 or 3 customers, especially when they just bought the car and only put 2,000 kilometers on it, and they go by the trip average, not the tank average. So you go your one trip 5 kilometers and your engine's constantly running all the time in that 5 kilometers, you're not saving gas there. But I hope this video will answer some of the people out there who have a CRV hybrid and they're not getting good fuel economy. So that's just the answers to there. There's nothing wrong with your car. It's just how you're using your car, from day to day. If you're doing short trips, you're not saving gas. You're using your heat on max. Like if I turn the heat on to high, it's gonna start running the engine. Just kicked on when I turn up the heat to high, so it's gonna keep running, right? It's gonna keep running on high. It doesn't have a temperature gauge, but yeah, it's just gonna run that engine and keep the temperature up high. So as you can see, engine is running, heat's on high. I'll shut off the heater, and it just shuts off the engine. So it really depends on how you run your heater and the heat demand you need in your car, and it'll constantly run that engine every time when you have it on high, because a lot of people come in and their heater is always on high, and their engine might as well never shut off. You might as well just get a regular CRV without the hybrid system in it. And at the same time, during the winter time, you typically use more fuel just to warm up the engine. Because, for example, if I'm warming up my engine from 0 degrees Celsius to 20 degrees Celsius, you're using more fuel than you would be warming up your engine from 10 degrees Celsius to 20 degrees Celsius. It's kind of just common sense.